Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the stuff that never leaves you. It's the pain that never goes away. It's the itch that you can't even scratch. It's RPG episode, I want to say 20? Is it 20 or 19?
Pretty sure we've already passed 20.
Oh, motherfucker, I can't know. You need to upload them quicker for me to remember. Anyway, I'm Guru, the loudmouth, angry, psychotic person, and there's Chewy.
All right.
What can we use to describe you, Chewy?
Potato.
A potato. He is a potato sometimes. And today, we're debuting a new segment. Yes, 2 weeks in a row for a new segment, though we also have a lot to talk about because last episode, of course, we had the game show, which honestly I felt went pretty well once we got to the second part. First part was rough because he picked some really hard to answer questions.
Wow, fuck you.
Yeah, well, bite me. But because of that, we weren't able to record an episode for a couple weeks, and we have a backlog of shit to talk about. Thankfully, no new anime has been announced.
Oh,
But actually, no, it hasn't been a new anime announced for a while. I think Lupin the Third, the one I mentioned to you, was the only one that got announced, but that also got a release date. But actually, Chewy, now that I'm thinking about it, have we talked about the Berserk manga, our author? I don't think we have.
R.I.P.
Yeah. It's tough to start on a somber note, but I feel like since we're an anime otaku and like a podcast around that, I feel like we should at least mention it, right?
Oh, we should have just made a whatchamacallit like we did last time.
Well, I mean, maybe you can do that at the start.
Not anymore, I don't have it ready.
Oh, son of a bitch. All right. Well, anyway, the Berserk author sadly passed away. And
you don't know his name, do you?
I do know his name. It's Kentaro Miura.
Kentaro Miura, there we go.
Yeah. I wanted to get like the exact name just so I didn't mispronounce it though, right? But yeah, no, he tragically passed away at the age of 54.
Yeah, something about stress something.
Well, I've read multiple places. If I remember reading, it was, I want to say it was I don't even remember. I want to get the exact thing.
Let's see here.
I remember seeing it once, but honestly, it's just
an acute aortic dissection at the age of 54.
So pretty much a ruptured aorta.
Occurs when an injury to the innermost layer of the aorta allows blood to flow between the layers of the aortic wall, forcing the layers apart. In most cases, it is associated with the sudden onset of severe chest or back pain, often described as tearing in character. Ooh,
anyway.
That sounds painful.
Yeah, it was, and honestly, that's probably something we shouldn't have said. Jesus Christ. Anyway. What I want to talk about quickly, though, is the impact Berserk had on, like, everything. Just think about, like, Berserk in general. Like, we're obviously going to say Berserk had an impact on the manga industry and the anime industry as a whole, but Berserk also kind of had an impact on more than just anime and manga. Like... We cannot deny that the Buster Sword, his giant-ass blade, wouldn't be as popular as it is in gaming and anime and, like, video games without Berserk.
Yeah.
Same thing could be said about, like, Dark Souls or Cloud. I do not think Cloud wouldn't have his signature Buster Sword without it.
Or Dante with, I think, what is it called?
I don't think Dante ever had a Buster Sword, but Dante probably would have been affected as well.
No, he had a pretty big sword. I don't remember if it wasn't a Buster Sword, but it was a big sword.
Yeah, but you also got to remember, Dante has like 17 different weapons, right?
Yeah, but the one that he started off with in the original, wasn't that like a...
Oh, I don't know, man.
The Devil Sword Dante.
I've never actually seen Devil May...
The Devil Sword Dante. That's a pretty big sword, actually, yeah. Maken Dante.
The thing I am like trying to point out is that it's insane to me the impact Berserk has had on pretty much the entire world. And it's
Dark
just, it's an
Souls too,
utter
right? Yeah,
shame.
Dark Souls, yeah.
It's an utter shame that,
A lot of works were based off of it, yeah.
like,
Black
I mean,
Clover, Black Butler, yeah, Dark Souls the series.
Dark Souls might be one of the biggest gaming franchises in the world. And it's clear as day takes influence from Berserk.
Attack on Titan.
I mean, maybe. I mean, everything. Really, all I just want to say is I hope Kentaro's family and friends are able to, you know, strive forward and whatnot, right?
Yoko Taro stated that the protagonist of his Drakengard series, Calm, was inspired by Berserk's protagonist Guts. Drag on Dragoon is this action role-playing... Oh, okay, interesting.
Oh, and one more thing. Did you see what the Final Fantasy community did to honor him?
The guys in, I think it was Final Fantasy 14, they had
the 14, the
stuff.
MMO. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they all, like, lined up and they did
a line-up
emote.
memorial. Like, fuck, man. It's an absolute tragedy. It's a fucking tragedy, and, well... I'm talking to someone who never liked Berserk. It never clicked with me, right?
Yeah.
But even me, a guy who didn't like it, can still sit there and appreciate what Berserk meant to the entire industry.
Yeah.
So, again, I feel like that's a good way to end that, and let's just move on to lighter things. Is there anything you wanted to talk about before we start dissecting anything we missed?
Not that I know of, no.
There's nothing that happened in Chewie's life. There's nothing that happened in Chewie's love interests.
No, my love for my...
What about all your Legos?
Huh?
Yeah, this guy buys a lot of Legos. Anyway, let's just hop into it.
Oh,
we have
all right.
What?
We probably... Well... I don't know, the residential school tragedies.
Oh, God. Yeah, we are Canadian. I think we might as well mention it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just continuing with the darkness, aren't we? So, for those of you who don't know, about, what was it, a week ago?
It was during, like... Was it, like, last weekend or something? Yeah, something like that.
They found... In Kamloops, BC, during the residential schools, one of the residential schools from back then.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. Pretty much what residential schools were was Canada and Britain's attempt to Europeanize Native American children.
Indoctrinate, basically, yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's tragic because the parents had no choice. Because if they kept them... because if the parents kept the kids, then the kids would grow up in a culture, in a universe that was changing, right?
Yeah.
So, like, that's the sad part, is that the parents had really no choice, but those kids were screwed.
It would have been tough either way, basically.
Yeah. So pretty much it's either we get indoctrinated, as you put it.
This wasn't the right way, though, still.
Jeez. Oh, hell yeah. No, there's no right way to what they did.
No way.
And it's unforgivable. So, for what those people don't know, in one of the residential schools, they found 215 children.
Remains.
Dead and buried.
Remains, yeah.
And they don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
Like, that's the big thing. They don't even know who they are.
No names whatsoever, so we can't even tell the families that, like, that they found the remains of their kids or remains of their.
They're pretty much now going to check every single residential school, and there was like 200 of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them all over Canada, which is.
And it's hard because it's weird. Now I'm going to try to word this as best I can.
Yeah, this is a very
I
sensitive
don't
topic.
know how to feel about this, considering it's. I'm just gonna go and say I don't know how to feel about this, considering it has nothing. It's not attached to me, right? Like I've been
Right.
struggling with this all week because I'm sitting there just like I feel tragic. I feel sick to my stomach that this happened. And like I'll do my best to like shout out and pay attention, be better. But I'm sitting there just wondering like what physically can I do?
I mean, I guess whenever you'd go vote or you hear something on the news, you write a letter and you send it out to the MP or whatever,
I mean,
or make a right vote, or
like that's just the thing though. How are we supposed to like there's nothing telling us here how we're supposed to feel about it, because in reality, yeah, we sit there and we say it's tragic and whatnot, but we're gonna fuck off and go to the next thing because it just had there's nothing binding us to it. It's tragedy. It's insanity. And it opens a lot of questions that Canada really needs to answer for. But I just don't feel attached to it.
I kind of get it. I mean, you have this sort of detached sort of concern, but at the same time, it's like we need to figure out like
Yeah, and I hope they do, but it's also just like I don't know, it's weird. It's an incredible weird feeling.
I feel like that's just us being a little insensitive because we're not personally attached to the culture, and that's
we're not even attached to the situation. It's very unlikely that our ancestors, like mine and your ancestors, had anything to fucking do with this, right?
Right. But as Canadians, yeah, we should probably just... Basically, Marcel, really, just if you hear any sort of fucking shit that's even similar to it, you stand the fuck up. That's basically, I think, everyone wants at that point.
Yeah.
Is that you stand the fuck up.
Yeah, and I get that, and it's just...
Don't let shit like this happen ever again.
Like, I just don't know what they're gonna do.
To anybody, really. Doesn't matter if it's a minority or not, just anybody. That's it.
And we see this now the Catholic Church is being attacked again, and rightfully so. But when I look at that situation, I just feel bad for the people just trying to, those guys are the people, they're paying for the Catholic Church's sins.
It's the same thing though with like the whole, the enslavement of African people and stuff like that, and being brought over here as slaves. It's the stigmatism and stuff like that. And that's the thing though, is that that stigmatism is still, it's slowly being broken, like very slowly, but it's still
I can't
there.
I can't imagine the frustrations on both sides, right?
No, I can't imagine it either, and that's why we just strive to be better, right? And if we have the chance, speak up, type of thing, stand up, and that I think that's really all we can do in this case.
I'm just worried this is just going to start more shit because.
I mean, yeah, because there's obviously.
And I'm not talking about like find more shit. I'm talking like start more shit, because there are going to be people who are probably going to attack or start berating Catholic churchgoers who probably are just trying to like steal. It's their religion, right?
Yeah, and yeah.
And that's my worriment, is that because one side did this, people are going to go back on the other side, and then it's going to bounce back, and then it's just going to be keep this ping pong, and nothing ever gets answered.
It's the whole like the white on black violence, black on black violence, black on white violence, white on white violence. That's the thing. People going to churches shooting up, people going to schools shooting up, and it's just.
And rather than like answering the actual issues, it just keeps bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, and that's...
Like, I don't get why the first fucking thing they did...
Oh, you cut out. The first...
The last one was closed in the 80s!
Oh, you totally cut out there, sorry.
What I'm saying is, why wasn't the first thing... Okay, we have all these residential schools that need to be searched, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about the people who are still alive that work there? Why haven't they been talked to yet?
That's true.
Why are we hearing from a Catholic Church archbishop who is doing the right thing? But why are we hearing from him first, who probably was not even with, like, who probably was just a simple churchgoer going then, right? Why are we hearing from him first and not from the people who work there? Why haven't we heard anything from them?
I don't know. We really
like
do
you'd
need
think, like you'd think.
Yeah,
with what happened in Kamloops, that the people would be like, oh shit, I need to prove my innocence and show that this school was thankfully not hell.
Yeah. It's, yeah, I'm sure.
Like, why am I getting Nazi war criminal vibes from them?
This is pretty much gonna have to be a big ongoing major investigation, I feel.
Yeah, and this can't die off. Like, they actually need to fucking do something.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get to lighter news. Nintendo is having the E3 presentation that they normally do this year, along with, you know, many other companies. They're doing pure digital, and you know what the funny thing is? Somebody brought this up to me. Remember when Nintendo went digital for E3, right? That was what? 4 years ago?
I'm not.
It's been a while, right? Remember when everybody was ridiculing them, like, oh, it'd be the worst thing ever. They're going to tank everything, right?
Yeah.
And yet, in reality, Nintendo was the starter of what has been constant digital events. I mean, we've seen Xbox do it. PlayStation has their State of Play, right?
Yeah.
Even Developer Digital and whatnot did it as well.
Yeah.
So I just find it interesting that everybody was ridiculing Nintendo, and yet they're the ones who started what's now the norm.
There's a Lego kid trying to commit suicide off my building.
That poor kid. But I wanted to talk about Nintendo's because there's a couple things that were announced. We got the release dates for the 2 new Pokemon games.
No, I shouldn't have said that. He thinks he can fly.
He thinks he...
Sorry.
Are you talking about your Lego again?
I just looked over and I noticed that there's a kid in an airplane costume trying to jump off the edge.
Weird. But yeah, we got the release dates for the 2 new Pokemon games. Well, the remake. Pokemon Shining Diamond and Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond will be coming November.
You totally mixed that.
Yeah, I know. And then Arceus is going to be coming in early 2020. I believe they said January.
How do you feel about those starters, by the way?
For Arceus?
Yeah.
I actually haven't...
You didn't see the starters?
I just remembered them. I mean, the game is set in a place where, you know, it's way before modern civilization, so it doesn't bother me that much.
No, but, like, you don't mind the choices? It was Cyndaquil, Rowlet, and...
Well, I mean, Cyndaquil deserves more love. Rowlet was a fan favorite of Gen 7, and same can be said about Oshawott.
Okay.
What, do you think they're terrible?
No, I was just wondering.
If I had to give the starter choices, I think they're solid.
Okay.
But I'm really interested in Arceus. It's Game Freak's attempt at doing something different with Pokemon, so it's going to be fun. And of course, Shining Diamond and whatnot, everybody's just like, oh, it looks terrible. And I'm like, that's a nice art style. But then again, if I'm going to be honest, I really don't play Pokemon for the art style.
He plays it for the porn.
Sure. I mean, everybody's going back now that we got the remake of Gen 4. People are saying, oh, we don't want to remake a Gen 5 because of the pixelated art style would be gone. And I'm sitting there just like, I don't really care. Because think about it. The further along we get along with the remakes of the generations, right? It's less about... The remakes of generations, in my opinion, are becoming more about allowing more people to experience them than actually, like, remaking them. Because would it be safe to say that Gen 5 was probably the most skipped generation?
What?
Well, people skip generations all the time, and I feel that it's either Gen 5 or Gen 3 that were probably the most skipped.
Really? Dang.
Well, I'm almost certain it's Gen 3, but I'm pretty sure Gen 5 would be right behind them.
Really? Gen 5? Sad.
Like, I think Gen 5 was amazing, don't get me wrong.
Gen 5 was amazing.
I know, I do. But I somewhat remember when playing it, Gen 5 was not covered that much. Didn't see many people having it. And of course, everybody went on Gen 6 because it was the first 3D Pokemon.
I feel like Gen 6 should have been skipped.
Yeah, Gen 6
would have been definitely the series that definitely could have been
Gen 6 literal only claim to fame is the fact that it's the first 3D Pokemon.
I can't believe people would have skipped Gen 3 though. That's Gen 5 or Gen 3 skip is Gen
3 was mostly skipped because people really did not like Hoenn.
You guys are sad.
Yeah, but
did you get
let's talk serious for a moment. What are you wishing to see from this Nintendo E3 presentation?
I mean, what I'm hoping for, or what I actually
want. 3
games
you want to see from the Nintendo E3 presentation.
Well, definitely the Pokemon series, some sort of.
So you're talking about the Diamond Pearl remakes and Arceus?
You know what? If it's just one of the two, I don't mind. I don't mind, but I feel like they're gonna do both anyway. So.
If they do one, they'll definitely do both. They haven't showed much gameplay of Arceus yet. They've announced a release date, which was kind of weird.
Okay. Oh. I actually hope that they announce something. I really hope they surprise us, honestly, because I'm gonna say right here, I'm gonna throw a hat into the, or throw a card, into the hat. I don't know what the fuck the term is. Yokai Watch 4. If they announce the Japanese port of Yokai Watch 4 or something equivalent to that, that's a major series that's finally being either what's the word?
Brought over.
Well, it's either that or just something completely original brought out of the blue. Basically, I would.
Well, I hate to tell you, Yokai Watch 4 is not coming. We already debated it. We already had a talk about this, how Level 5 just left.
Level 5 said something about it's coming over to the Nintendo Switch, and then it was like, then COVID happened, and it was like, okay, they don't know what's going on anymore.
I mean, it's not ever had a Western release date, though.
It was announced that it was going to be, and then they didn't get a release date because COVID happened. They were thinking about it, but
during Anime Expo 2019, when asked about a future Western release and showed off Japanese trailer with English subtitles, because the game's plot refers to concepts and details that were introduced in Shadow Side and Forever films, which has not been given an English language release, the marketing company expressed localization interest in those films as well. However, during 2020, a combination of flagging sales in the series, Level 5 decided to shutter all North American operations. So it had nothing to do with COVID. It's literally due to the fact it was not selling well.
Sad.
Also, I do hope we see something new. But with the thing that they're going to say we're mostly focusing on releases in 2021, what new is there, right?
Splatoon 3, apparently.
Yeah, they did announce that, so maybe they'll show off some of it. But for me, my biggest is, of course, Breath of the Wild 2. I am so excited for that game. I'd love to see more from Pokemon and Splatoon. But you know what I'd like to finally fucking see? I don't plan on playing them, but I just want to see them. And these could probably qualify surprises. Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3.
Maybe.
I mean, it's just... It's so weird. Like, Nintendo's handling Prime 4 and Platinum's handling Bayonetta 3, right? And of course, Prime 4 had to be completely restarted.
What about Shin Megami Tensei 5? No, yo, I'm throwing that in there. Shin Megami Tensei 5, since they've already gotten Nocturne out finally.
Yeah, and
consoles.
That's getting decent reviews.
5. They've got to come on, Atlas. Show us just another trailer.
That's not a Nintendo thing. That'd probably be done more with Sega, since Atlas is part of Sega.
But they announced that they were gonna do it on the Switch.
Oh, it is coming to the Switch. Okay, yeah, no, you'd probably see it here. And it is 2021, so yeah, you know what? There is a decent chance we'd probably see more from it. No, you are right. What's up?
I'm trying to think of other stuff that we haven't seen in a long time.
It's still hard to believe that Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3 were announced in 2017.
Oh, apparently somebody's I don't know. Somebody's putting stuff from Pikmin 4. Hoping for Pikmin 4 for Switch. Huh. I mean, that wouldn't be too bad. Like,
that wouldn't be that unsurprising.
Somebody said something about Zelda's 35th anniversary, so they probably might do the Breath of the Wild sequel thing.
You got to remember, they already announced in like the earlier Nintendo Direct that there is more information on the Breath of the Wild sequel coming later this year. And if I'm going to be honest, this is the perfect time to drop it, right?
You know what? They put like the regular NES and Super Nintendo games on the online stuff for Nintendo. What is it? Nintendo Online. Yeah. What about N64 and GameCube? More of that, like just N64 and GameCube.
That would be the biggest shock. That would be the biggest shock.
Either N64 or GameCube or both at the same time.
Okay, N64 cool. Wouldn't that be that much of a shock since it's kind of expected at this point?
GameCube, I feel, would be more of a shock.
GameCube would be bigger than Breath of the Wild 2, in my opinion.
You know what? There's also, because Metopia just came out being ported over from 3DS, maybe more 3DS original titles. That would be pretty cool too.
That would be interesting. It is probably easier to port to the Switch, but
because they had the motion controls and stuff like that, so it's like the 3D capabilities, just change it up.
By the way, speaking of Metopia, that Ina stream I'm watching, she's not even done making her characters. She's just on Kiara.
Oh.
But no. If I had to say, my biggest shocks would be, so the things I think will happen: Breath of the Wild 2 gameplay and release date.
Pokemon.
More Pokemon. And I think we'll see more of Splatoon 3.
Okay, you're not gonna put in your Prime Form Bayonetta thing into?
This is what I was gonna say here. The shocking things that I hope to see. Something from Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3.
Okay. Here's my top.
something.
Here's probably the top 3 that I think for sure. Pokemon related. Doesn't matter if it's Arceus or.
Yeah, we're getting some We're getting. Well, no, it's guaranteed we're getting something from Arceus in the remakes because the release dates are not that far away.
Breath of the Wild and maybe other Zelda, Legend of Zelda games because it's the 31st anniversary. I'm going to assume it's not just the Breath of the Wild sequel. They'll probably.
Well, I mean, they're already bringing Skyward Sword to the Switch.
Yeah, they ported that. So, third one, Shin Megami Tensei 5. For fuck's sake, give us a fucking gameplay trailer. For fuck's sakes, holy crap! It is about time.
And I think we can agree the most shocking things would be Bayonetta, Metroid, and
GameCube ports and 3DS ports. You know what? You will shock the hell out of me with 3DS and GameCube ports.
3DS ports, I could see. I don't see GameCube ports happening. If anything, they would bring it to the Virtual Console.
You know what? I'm going to throw in another one that'll shock me. Persona. Fucking port over Persona.
Oh my god, if they actually pull that off. I mean, they put Persona Strikers was on the Switch.
Yeah, and the Shin Megami Tensei 5 has been announced.
Oh my god, if they actually pull that off and port over Persona 5 Royale, I'll buy it again. That reminds me, I need to get a bigger Switch storage. Remind me after this episode we're done recording to send you a picture or something.
I told you should have gone a bigger one when you originally bought the micro SD.
Oh, fucking, it's a lot of money. Anyway, let's talk about anime, because we got a lot to talk about.
Okay.
Because it's been about 3 weeks since we've talked about anime.
Alright, let's go through the list. Where's the My Anime list?
Well, let's start off with...
No, where's the My Anime list, Marcel? Where is it?
Okay, we'll do the My Anime list.
Where's the season? Where's the seasonal anime list?
Are you okay, Lucas?
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I love you, Lucas.
Boku no Hero Academia 5th season. I have not watched. What is it, Marcel? What is it like?
It had its best episode of the season thus far.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it really did. The biggest issue with Boku no Hero was the pacing was slow. It's covering an arc that just, it's good. It's the last chance, as I mentioned before, to show off the heroes, to show off the kids. But we finally hit the point where Deku starts his journey, because Deku is going to find out that, well, I'm just going to spoil it. All Might's quirk is more than just super strength.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more than just the first quirk and the.
In the end, it was a storage thing.
Oh.
Because you'll see as the show goes on, Deku has access to all the quirks that the former One for All users had.
Nice.
Because not every one of them were quirkless.
No, they weren't.
Yeah. So yeah, no, My Hero's starting to pick up, and it's going to pick up even more because after this, they'll be going to the.
Wait, that.
Oh, what?
That. What was All Might's quirk before he got the rest of it? That's my.
I believe
question.
All Might was quirkless.
Really?
Yeah, if I remember, All Might was quirkless.
Oh. Huh.
Mm. And he inherited from Naga. Though I don't remember what Naga's quirk was. Apparently Naga's quirk was float.
Well, we'll get more into that later. There you go.
Yeah, but no, it's interesting. And opening up One for All to have more quirks is obviously going to set up better for the eventual fights between, Shigarane and all that. Yeah, I will say the manga is currently just incredible. It's in the final arc, and it is just jaw-dropping.
Final arc?
Yeah, My Hero started its final arc.
Wow! That's cool.
Yeah. But, yeah, My Hero was good. My Hero was good. It was really good.
Boing, boing.
What's next, Chewy, since you want to do it via that?
The next one is Stop Teasing Me, Nagatoro-san. Or, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, Stop Teasing. Yeah, Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. It's good.
Good.
The thing about Nagatoro is there's a lot more. It obviously plays off, Uzaki-chan and teasing Master Takagi-san, right?
Yes, all those ones.
The big difference with them is when you see with Nagatoro.
Even Hajimata no Gal.
Yeah, when you see with Nagatoro, you see genuine feelings.
Genuine feelings.
It's kind of like one of those cases like you actually see more from Nagatoro than you do from Senpai.
Oh.
I don't know, it's hard to put, but like you just look at it just feels different than all of them. Also, It is incredibly clear that the artist behind this series has done certain sophisticated mangas.
Yes. We all are aware. Once you see the art style, you just know.
Oh yeah.
Fumetsu no Anata e, or To Your Eternity.
Can we just skip this?
But
I don't know how to talk about this show anymore.
It's because it's so different, isn't it? You know?
It is such a kick in the solar plexus every single episode.
I told you.
And it's just, it finds a way to pull you in every time.
You gotta be wary of those fields, man.
But like, no, for how short I'm gonna talk about this, To Your Eternity is fucking worth it.
It's amazing.
Yep. Next!
They started the third one. Higehiro. Yo, time for a talk.
Oh boy.
I'll be in the
back. What?
I'll be in the back.
Of course he's gonna be in the back.
I'm gonna eat my burger.
What type of burger?
That's the new one, the limited one from AINW, the smoked Gouda one.
Oh. But no, Higehiro might be the best show of the year.
Smoked Gouda.
It's kind of picked up since the last time we talked. It's finally revealed what happened to Saiyu, and well, I'm just gonna explain what happened to Saiyu.
What?
Her mom's a cunt.
Oh, this is a good sauce. Whoa.
Dewey, get the fuck out of the back.
There's barbecue sauce in this. This is great.
I can barely hear you.
Smoked Gouda and hickory sticks and barbecue sauce, real good.
Anyway, as Chewie talks about his fucking thing, they pretty much revealed why Saiyu ran off. And yeah, her mom is just definitely anime mom of the year. So what happened is, Saiyu, she's the pretty loner, you know what? She's got the looks, but she doesn't click with anybody, if you know what I mean, right?
Okay.
But then somebody decides to be her friend. It's this charming girl, a little bit of a loner herself, and they become good friends. But when Saiyu rejects a basketball player, some girls decide to start making the other girl's life a living hell.
Wow.
To the point where the other girl decides to jump off the school roof just after telling Saiyu, stop being friends with me.
Oh.
Yeah. And then her mom started screaming at Saiyu, and then Sayu's mom started screaming at Saiyu because in her mind, she's like, why did you do this to me? Why couldn't you be like your brother? And then she accuses Saiyu of killing her.
Oh.
Like, straight up, her mom's just like, you didn't kill her, did you? And I'm just sitting there just like, what the fuck?
Right.
So, of course, Saiyu runs into her brother, who's like, okay, we need to get you out. Here's some money. Go to a hotel. But then Sayu's just like, I don't want to go home, because why would I want to go home when my mother just accused me of being a murderer, right? So, of course, this begins the whole story of her, you know, sexual favors to try to stay in a home, and then finding Yoshida. So now her brother's found her, right? But her brother is, like, trying to find her really hard because her mom told him to. Not because she gives a shit about Saiyu, right? Not because she gives a damn. There was a rumor started that due to this incident and because of what her mother said, people were thinking that her mom locked Saiyu in her room and wasn't letting her leave.
Oh.
So the only reason she is trying hard to find Saiyu is not because she gives a shit about her, not because she cares, but because she is trying to avoid ridicule.
Ah.
And I'm sitting there just like, wow, they now made me want Saiyu to stay with Yoshida. Because why would Saiyu want to go back there? Like, her mom has clearly shown no change. She's still treating Saiyu like shit. So why would Saiyu willingly go back there, right? This is where you answer.
That smoked Gouda burger was good. Holy shit.
Okay. Now can you actually fucking talk? It's hard to talk to myself, man.
That sucks, Saiyu.
But no, seriously, the show has found a way to make me actually want Saiyu to stay with Yoshida. And I didn't think that was possible.
Oh, that was a good burger. Jeez, fucking
Oh my fucking god. You ready to talk, or should we take another 20-minute break so you can wash off your fingers?
Keep talking.
Yay. You know, a podcast kind of works when we bounce off ideas and whatnot. I feel like right now I'm just throwing ideas at a wall and getting punched in the face. Anyway.
I didn't watch this series. What am I supposed to say?
I don't know, maybe give opinions about the situation?
Sucks.
Anyway. The show now is got 3 episodes left, and it's pretty much gonna come down to, well, if I'm gonna be honest, if you don't see any change in the mother, who literally, again, is only trying to find Saiyu to save her skin, then why would Saiyu go back?
Right.
And it just makes, and I'm genuinely interested to see where they go. I know how it ends since, well, the light novel actually just ended. So I am interested. Yeah, the light novel only lasted like 5 volumes.
Oh.
Moving on, next one.
Tokyo Revengers.
Yay, one we can both talk about.
It's good.
Oh, it's good. It's so good. In fact, I read the entire manga.
What else can we say about this? Holy shit, it's good. When did we last talk about this, honestly? So,
I talk about it almost every week.
No. What did we last say about it, though? There was an episode where he had to go back to the present, and the guy, his friend, turned out to be the guy who tried to kill him. And then
yeah, that was just after his friend killed himself in the present.
Right. Yeah, and then he went back again, and he's
trying to stop Draken from being killed.
Right,
because
and then there was
apparently Draken's death is what really caused Tokyo Maji Gang to become the hell that it is.
It was the catalyst, yeah. Then there was that.
Of course, that's obviously not the fucking truth with the way they're setting it up.
Yeah, it's not, and it was just like one of the big pieces, I think, that fell down. It was just easier, I think, from there.
But the show is really building up, and it makes me wonder, like, here's the thing. I'm curious where they're going to choose to end this series.
They're gonna end it when everyone falls in love.
Yeah, that's probably it. But no, like, shows like this always make me genuinely curious of how they're going to end. But Tokyo Revengers, this arc has been...
Everyone's gonna fall in love with Takemichi.
I mean, it's been brilliant enough to make me sit there and read the whole entire manga, right? Like, it's that good.
Everyone's gonna be in love with Takemichi.
I love its pacing. I love its action. Takemichi is he's a lovable dork. Like, that's what he really is. He's just a dork.
He's a dork. He's a weak dork, but he's a dork.
But he's a dork who will kind of just run through a brick freaking wall at this point.
He'll do his best. He's a crowd.
Like you're noticing that it really does not matter what the issue is. Takemichi will bash through a wall.
He try his best, okay? He's trying his best.
And I will say, I like the swerves of this arc. They're keeping it interesting, and they're allowing natural stuff to flow in a sense.
And the art style is very, like...
It's good.
Older. Like, and it definitely stood out from all the modern type of...
Would you say it has a bluntness to it?
Sure, but like it reminds me of all the stuff from like the past, like that actually was released around close to the Showa area, or like right after. Like it's very retro feel. That's why it was pretty cool that like the entire thing had like a retro type of. Even though it had a modern twist to it, it still had that like retro. This would even fly like maybe 10, 20 years or something in the past, really, sort of thing.
Yeah, I feel you're right about that.
It could definitely be a classic like 20, 30 years in the past where like this art style was the most popular.
And I have to say, if the story continues to be the same quality, I'll definitely be interested. Well, I mean, I know the story. I'm trying to talk about it as an anime viewer.
No. Yeah.
But what I will say is I like how this arc has kind of twisted and turned. It's made everything logical in a sense. Like, the reason X wants to kill Draken is because, he isn't doing enough for my brother who was, arrested. Pachin, was it, right? And, like, all of that makes sense, and I like when shows make sense.
Right.
Alrighty, let's move on to the next one.
86.
Fuck me, man.
I haven't caught up, but it's starting to get pretty. What the fuck?
Fuck me.
Dark as fuck.
Oh my god. Pretty much ever since, episode 4, it's just been getting darker and darker and darker.
This makes me sad.
It's rough. Because 86 has found this just gem of a thing, because you get to laugh at the irony and the just stupidity of the Republic while feeling for the 86 themselves. Because I've said it before, I've said it again. The Republic bury the 86 and treat them like humans, they win the war in 6 years, right? But because they're not, they are unbeknownstly walking into their own death.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hilarious because it's going to come, it's going to happen, and it's going to be satisfying watching all those Alba white-haired Nazis just die.
R.I.P.
But what I will say is the last episode stood out a bit because you really saw the emotion from Annette, Lena's best friend, and the Colonel.
Okay.
So with Annette, it was one of those cases where Annette's just like, I was friends with an 86 once, but then I was racist to him, and it's obvious the 86 was Shin, right?
Okay.
And she's feeling guilty about her actions and upset at herself. So rather than, trying to be better, right? She's trying to make Lena feel as bad as her.
Oh, shit.
is one of those situations like, well, I fucked up, but I'm saying you can't do it either, so you need to feel as bad as me, right?
Oh, fuck.
But what I love the most is the Colonel. So Lena and the Colonel had a huge confrontation because Lena, is trying to keep the Spearhead Squadron alive.
Oh.
And the Colonel, the way he talked was interesting to me because the Colonel, rather than sticking by all of like Alba's perks, right?
Okay.
He pretty much said the people of Alba are too stupid.
Oh.
He pretty much said that it does not matter what you do. The people of Alba are so stupid, they will not support it.
Oh, shit. This guy's calling out the spitting facts.
Like, it was pretty much that. It was pretty much that. He pretty much went, you know what? You could waste all the time in your world. You will not change anything because the people of Alba don't want change.
Okay.
And I just sat there like, oh my god, I love this man.
It's the truth.
Because it's really the truth.
Yeah. Spitting facts.
The people of Alba do not want change.
They don't. Because they're dumb.
Like, when I was writing my, statement about this episode, I put it like this. Karstol, the general, he wants to, like Lena, distance himself, right? Like Lena's friend Annette. He wants to distance himself. He wants everybody to feel bad so he doesn't feel as bad. And he believes so little in the people of Republic that if the truth of the 86 was revealed to them, they wouldn't do shit.
Yeah.
And you can see that.
No, they wouldn't.
And with 3 episodes left, we then get another obvious reveal. Remember how I mentioned the Legion was capturing the brains?
Yeah.
Well, there's this giant mech coming in. It's been revealed that, yep, that's Shin's brother.
Oh, great.
And the thing that caught me off guard is that unless they were like just playing this up for lulz, it has actual personality and is literally purposely targeting Shin.
Oh.
Oh, and I forgot to mention the big thing about the Spearhead Squadron.
Yeah.
This is where the tragedy comes in.
Okay.
The Spearhead Squadron is, the best of the best when it comes to processors, right?
Yes.
They're meant to be cold.
They're meant to be cold?
Yep. Pretty much the only time the Spearhead Squadron will get reinforcements is when they need replacements. That squadron is meant to die.
Oh.
Like, that's it. That's it. The squadron, the Spearhead Squadron, the one doing the most protecting, is a squadron set up that's so the Republic kills off the most important processors so a rebellion can't start.
Oh. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's... Wow.
Yep.
They weren't
And of
afraid
course-
at all of them being so good that they could work well together? No?
No, pretty much the Republic is setting them up so they can just kill them. Because that's the only way they'll get reinforcements. They do not want to risk processors rebelling against them.
Okay.
So,
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of dumb at the same time, though.
well, I mean, what has the Republic done that's smart, right?
That's true.
Like, again, if they just buried the dead, they would win in 6 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, so the end of the last episode was Shin and, the 5 remaining squadron of the squadron, right? We had the purple-haired girl, the spunky redhead, the blonde, and the tall-looking dude. I forget their names.
R.I.P. You're treating them like they're 86 too.
Fuck off. But no, they were going off to, well, fight Shin's brother and his whole legion.
Oh, great.
While Lena herself is trying her damnedest to try to keep them alive.
Oh, great.
And remember, the first arc, the first core of 86 only has 11 episodes.
That's true.
So we're going to get a conclusion rather soon.
They're going to come out there and start swinging.
Yeah. But I'll do a little ratings when we're done all of this, because my ratings have changed after this week.
You're going to do ratings?
Well, I'll say what I think's my top 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because we are getting close to the end of the season.
Isekai mao toshokan shoujo no dore machutsuki omega sign.
That's the Demon Lord, how to not summon, right?
How to not summon a Demon Lord Omega.
It is smut at its finest. I mean, it's rather entertaining, but again, let's be real, it is mostly just ecchi. It's a fun show. Like, in terms of, like, the super ecchi shows, I think it's one of the better ones. But we also need to realize that, again, it is super ecchi.
It's, yeah. Vivi, Fluorite Eye Songs.
Oh my god, this show can fuck off.
Your worst fear came alive.
My worst fear came alive, what?
Was it so bad or so good, though?
It's great. It's great.
Okay,
but
then
it
never
is
mind.
so, kind of like To Your Eternity, it is so emotionally draining.
Oh, okay, so it's the opposite. Never mind.
Yeah, it's great, but like...
Opposite of what you feared, though.
Oh my god, is it? It just drains you, because it just... Right hook, left hook, right uppercut. Like, it never stops.
Okay.
Like, before last week, the main episode was trying to stop a robot from killing herself, which would again lead to the apocalypse.
Okay.
It's then revealed that the robot was taken over by her robot manager, because her robot manager developed emotions to the point where he didn't want anybody else to hear her sing. And it's just like... Ah! And then, of course, there was the cliffhanger at the end of the last episode that, oh yeah, the apocalypse has started.
Okay.
It's just... Vivi as a show has found a way to continue just to kick you in the nuts, but it never stops feeling like too much.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Okay.
Mm.
Sentoin Haken Shimasu, or combatants will be dispatched.
Didn't watch it.
Didn't watch it.
Moving on.
Slime Diaries.
Wholesome fun.
Okay.
I really have nothing more to say of it. It's just wholesome fun. It's nice to see.
It's nice filler, you know?
Yeah. It's honestly perfect filler considering what's coming next season, right?
Next season.
Yeah. Well, just think about it. How genius was it to put Slime Diaries here? It keeps people interested in the series, and then you hit them with Season 2, Part 2.
Season 2, Part 2, when everyone's slapping the booty.
All right, next.
I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level.
This is actually a show I plan to review later. I'm hearing it's actually rather good.
But you haven't even seen it yet.
No.
Okay. Shaman King reboot.
This is on you, isn't it?
I mean, I haven't watched any since the last burst of episodes. I think I only watched like the 6 that were out, or 5.
Well, watch more.
It was pretty good so far, though. I mean, it still keeps to the original. It's literally just keeping to the original most of the time.
So is it kind of like Fruits Basket in the sense of they're remaking it?
I think so. I haven't seen any huge changes. Then again, I also didn't finish the original Shaman King, but I did watch a fair bit.
A lot of people really like Shaman King.
Yeah, I'm glad it's come out in the reboot, so we'll see.
Apparently it's going to have 52 episodes.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. It's a lot, yeah.
It's got a 6.92 on Mal, so it's not that bad.
About 4 cores or so.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so, yeah, all right, next.
Fruits Basket, the final. Final. What's going on with Soma?
I have never been more impressed with a finale in my life. This is perfection.
Oh.
It's been built. The whole story about Fruits Basket, of course, was, the story of the Soma family curse, right? And it was mostly centered around Kyo and Toru, right? Okay. So season 1 had the big thing about Kyo the cat, right?
Right.
And it ended with, Toru seeing Kyo as the cat and still, not running, right? Season 2 started to build up Toru versus Akito as Toru starts thinking, okay, what the hell can I do to set them free, right?
Right.
Season 3, on the other hand, it's still Toru trying to figure out what to set them free.
Okay.
But the main story is about Akito and her breakdown.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, like, the whole story, Akito, from childbirth, she is labeled as, like, you're not normal. You're God. These people praise you, right? You are special.
Oh.
So you know how that could fuck up somebody's mind, right?
Yeah, especially at a young age when they're impressionable. Yeah.
And it does. Like, she starts warping quickly. And of course, she becomes the vindictive, controlling monster that we know. And of course, throughout the whole season, we start to see really why she's like this. As I've said many times before, she is horrified of being alone. But that's mostly because she doesn't know how to act any other way. I mean, again, she was raised like that from a young age. She's never done anything else, and to her, just to try something new is terrifying.
Okay.
So then, after episode 7, she stabs Kurano, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing is, when it comes to Kurano, I believe I mentioned it before, he doesn't have his bonds anymore. He's not affected by the curse. Okay. So in reality, Kurano still being with Akito kind of would have shown to Akito that, hey, the curse isn't holding them here. But of course, she didn't learn that and stabbed him.
Oh.
And then, of course, Kyo and Toru had their big blow up where Kyo is saying that he's the reason her mother died. Claiming that he had a chance to save her when she got hit by a car, but he did not, out of fear of, like, him turning into the cat monster.
Okay.
And Toru is pretty much finally stopping putting her mother above everyone else.
Okay.
Because Toru, throughout her whole life, ever since her mom died, has put her mom first, no matter what.
Okay.
So she's finally starting to learn that. And of course, Kyo runs off because he doesn't want to accept. He's trying to force himself into the role of cat of being locked away for the rest of eternity, right?
Oh. Okay.
So as he runs off, as Yuki Ghost chases him, Akito shows up with the goal of seemingly stabbing Toru to death. And then we get like a full episode just dedicated to Toru.
Oh.
Really breaking down Akito and figuring out what is making her so terrified.
Okay.
And it's surprisingly simple. Akito just wants a friend.
Just wants a friend, man.
Well, no, she wants somebody to acknowledge her. Because remember, every one of her bonds, every one of her connections is all due to the curse.
Cool.
So to her, she believes without the curse, she's alone. Of course, Toru decides, you know what? I'm going to see the real you, and I'm going to acknowledge you, and I'm going to want to be your friend. Like, you see how that would work, right?
Oh, I mean, it's getting to be one of those, at the very end type of confrontations, isn't it?
Yeah, this is pretty much the ending of the whole Fruits Basket. There's 1 or 2 episodes left.
All right, the next one's probably gonna big old confrontation.
Well, no, because the confrontation ended this episode because when Toru was trying to do it, Akito was accepting it. The ground broke under Toru, and she fell down and cracked her skull open.
Okay.
Ironically, she fell in front of the place where she was first found at the start of the season.
Oh, okay.
Well, thankfully, Akito was able to find Shigure and Yuki. They were able to save her. And the episode kind of ended with Akito seemingly trying to take the step forward to change. And if you're wondering why I'm saying this, I think Fruits Basket right now is the best show of the season after that episode.
Oh.
That episode was so fucking brilliant that it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, this is the perfect conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I had to rank it quickly, Fruits Basket, 86, Higehiro, My Hero, Tokyo Revengers. Moving on.
No to your eternity. Let's see.
That's like 7. Moving on.
Sanajimi ga zetai ni makenai love comedy. The Osemake rom-com where the childhood friend won't lose.
Oh, we dropped that shit, remember?
Oh, you did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Koi to yobu ni wa kimochi warui.
Okay, this is gonna take forever. So let's just target the shows I know.
It's too sick to call this love. Did you watch that?
No.
Zombieland Sega Revenge.
I mean, it's Zombieland Saga.
Come on, man, it's good. Zombieland Saga is good.
It's really good, and you were right about the bartender, by the way.
Oh, so he has some sort of tie into the necromancy, and he was the dude from the past that was eating the squid.
I wouldn't say he's the dude, but he does have some tie, because at the end of this episode, he mentions to Yagiri, how do you like this era?
Oh.
So I'm pretty sure he is the grandpa, but I'm not going to, confirm it. He looks exactly like the grandpa, though.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah.
But no, Zombieland Saga's good, and it's setting up for what should be an interesting conclusion.
Which I hope is a Kotaro reveal?
It really does feel like Kotaro's going to play a big part in the final couple episodes.
All right. Next.
All right.
Well, this also, Zombieland Saga also proves that it's not just an idle anime.
Oh, yeah, no. It definitely is.
Marimashita Iruma-kun, 2nd season. I caught up with this too, actually.
They're going into the whole,
Royal one.
I'm a dick.
What?
Well, Iruma-kun's in his bad boy phase.
Yeah.
And it's rather entertaining. This last episode did a decent job at showing off all the students in the class, but it also showed off some of the teachers we haven't seen.
Yeah, the faculty that we haven't fully been introduced to, they finally started to introduce them all.
But can I say, Kalego continues to be my spirit animal. I love this man. Next.
I don't think we did we haven't watched Megalobox, have we?
No, I haven't even watched season 1.
Eden Zero, nobody watched that either, I don't think.
What the fuck is Eden Zero? That's Fairy Tail.
Oh. Yeah. The guy who made Fairy Tail. Full Dive.
I don't watch that.
Yukoku no Moriarty, 2nd season.
That was on you, but you haven't even watched season 1.
Shadow's House.
That's one I do plan to review later.
I read the bits of the manga. It's not that bad, actually.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of good things about it.
It's weird, but it's not that bad. Oh, Mashiro no Oto, those Snow White notes. Okay.
All right, let you talk.
All right. Last time, I think we talked about this main character's mom, Setsu Saramura, his mom, being the famous whatever singer and whatever connections and money, whatever, set up the Matsuguro Cup, which is Matsuguro being Sawamura's grandpa and the person who died and stuff, and introducing the shamisen and stuff. They're getting into the competition. So the first part of the competition is groups, and then there's individual. Sawamura has signed up for both. He signed up with his club to do the group one, and then he signed up for himself in the individual.
Mm-hmm.
The groups competition was finished in like 3 episodes, I think. The group, the club, whatever, his club didn't finish first or whatever, but they got third, and it was like a very, very close to the wire decision. It was like a difference of like 4 points, I think, in between the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5, I don't remember. And they came out third, and then they won like a special judges and audience reward or something for being like the most fun to like watch, because like everything they did was super entertaining.
So it's one of those cases where, like, yeah, you see, they can lose, guys, they can lose, but they still move on.
No, they got really upset at the end, though. Like, the kids were like, I really like playing with you all, and it was really fun to play that one performance, and I thought we would win and stuff like that, because we did really, really well. They did do really well, actually. It's just the rest of the teams did better. Not as just, like, basics and stuff like that, but as a group. Playing as a group, they were much better. Number 1 especially. Number 2, the individual tones of a... The second group was a group of, like, really talented shamisen players that just organized together. So their individual tunes kind of clashed too much, because they were so individually good. But yeah. So now they're starting to lead up to the individual competition now, and I'm really excited, because a lot of the people that did the groups, like the stars of each of the groups, they're also in the individual competition. So I'm just like, hey boy, now they know each other, know how it's gonna feel. Because Sawamura just ran that freaking show, despite what people think he did. Like, he fully supported a group of, which was basically newbies, 3 newbies and 1 solo type of played for, like, he played for Rakugo Theater and stuff like that. And he supported them and bounced their sound completely and took them to third, basically, with that. That's Sawamura. Sawamura's gonna, and he's gonna show off more of his, like, his stillness and everything like that. And it's weird, because he's not the type of person who wants to go for number 1 or anything. He just wants to play good music. And it's hype, because the music is good. The music is getting better and better and better, and I can't wait for the individual competition. I can't wait for individual competition. Okay, so next one is, I don't think we watched Mars Red. I don't think anyone was.
Nope.
Did we watch the power of the saint is omnipotent? The saint's magic power is omnipotent?
Nope.
Joran, the princess of snow and blood?
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. SSS Dynazimon.
I actually am watching that. It is mediocre.
I haven't caught up, honestly. I've only gotten to episode 4, I think. 4 or 5.
There's nothing in this show that makes me want to go, oh my god, it's awesome.
It's not as good as SS Gridman, is it?
Yeah, but I also think Gridman had a lot of advantages when it came to, like, it was truly unique in terms of visual style when it came to the battles.
Okay.
Like, I think what carried Gridman was the fact that, you know, it was an homage to tokusatsu.
Okay. Well, the thing is, yeah, okay, yeah.
No, there's no way in... That's the thing, though. There's no way in hell Gridman gets as popular as it is without the fact that, like, it's a huge homage to, like, those type of shows.
But Gridman existed during that... yeah.
Yeah, okay. I know what you mean. But, like, there's no... People... We'd never seen an anime like that before.
Okay, sure. And the fact that the female lead was thick.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody loved Rika and Akane. But the issues Daizenamon are working on is it doesn't have that feeling.
Thicker than a bowl of porridge.
Like, it doesn't have that feeling when it comes to, like, this feels fresh, this feels unique
Big old
in terms of, like, visual battles.
Porridge. Okay.
Like, I'm looking at it, I'm just like, the story is not good. It's too confusing. They haven't gone into anything. Like, this whole kaiju eugenics group literally just look like they're just fucking about with kaiju.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Nothing has been, like, shown about what their goals are or whatnot.
Okay.
The main story has really been Yumi trying to find why her sister died. And it's just like, that's decent, but, like, it's definitely not enough to carry the show.
Okay.
I like that they brought back Auntie and his friend.
All right.
Like, that was a cool little throwback. Kind of wish they brought back more. But Daizenen's not doing enough, in my opinion.
I can see that.
Like, it really does feel like the people are like, oh, we could just do Gridman again. Because that's what it is. You are literally just watching the same show with just different characters.
Sad.
Which is annoying, because I did enjoy Gridman quite a bit. But Daizenen just is not hitting the notes at all. So Majina is thick. Hey, they gotta continue with something, right? I mean,
Thick.
Jesus Christ, look at this.
Thick.
Anyway, moving on.
Thick. She thick. She thick. Holy ass cheek, she thick.
Moving on. I'd like to, be done before 3 hours.
Odd Taxi. We didn't watch that, did we?
Nope.
Burning Kabaddi! Or Blazing
It's
Kabaddi.
good.
It's amazing. It's fun.
I think it's good. It's not amazing.
I think it's amazing.
It's good. I mean, I've said enough about this show. There really hasn't been anything that changed. I do like the introduction of the 3 new characters.
It's good ass shit right there. That's some good sports shit.
Next.
I don't think we watched Super Club. I don't think we watched the Boys Detective Club. Nope.
I think
Bakuchan.
that's it.
Backflip.
Oh, that's you.
Well, it's not as... okay, if you can say Blazing or Burning Kabaddi is more upfront and straightforward type of thing, because it's Kabaddi, right? The sport's pretty physical and upfront and confrontational.
And different.
Yes. Bakuten is definitely gentler, like, with story and with comedy, too, at times.
I mean, you can see that with the type of sport it is, right?
Yeah, but it's still got its own sort of, how should I say, it's charismatic in its own way. It's not bad. Though I feel like at times it throws in some very stereotypical stuff, but at the same time, there's some things that's actually catches me off guard that they actually brought up and stuff like that. Like, I think the recent episode was the former, like, one of the senpais feels a little bit like he's out of the loop type of thing when the new first year's coming, because one of the first years is like amazing. He won like individual gymnastics by himself.
Oh, it's like the typical story where the senior feels threatened that he's going to lose his spot.
Well, it's not really threatened because they don't really have enough people anyways, so there's only 6 people in the group and they need 6 people to do a routine or else they get minus points or whatever. But the thing is, like, it's not that he's threatened. It's more he's not sure what type of how he wants to proceed, sort of thing. Now that he's seen like really great, like not only gymnastics from the first year himself, but like from the other teams and stuff like that. And then he kind of finds a little bit more resolution pushing forward with like he wants to be the type of athlete that, you know, even though he's going to stumble a little, he wants to be able to push forward and make everyone feel like they can do it too, type of thing. I don't know. It's a little stereotypical, but a little bit catching off guard a tiny bit when it's about rhythm gymnastics and nobody's spot is technically in danger here because they need all 6 of them to go forward. But it's a lot of pressure, I guess, on that sense too.
Yeah.
The World Ends With You, the animation.
It's not worth talking about. It's a video game animation.
Godzilla SP.
Not watching.
The Dragon-err Wokou.
Not
Dragon
watching. I
Goes
think
House
that's
Hunting.
it.
Oh, Sayonara Kramer.
Not watching.
I'm watching.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's... I don't know. I don't know how the writer of... I don't know how the writer of Shigetsu no Kimi no Uso, like, Your Lie in April, I don't know how this is the same writer. This feels a bit off. A little bit.
So what do you think of the show, though?
It's entertaining when you're looking at it, because it's a very interesting aspect that we're going towards female soccer and how they talk about female soccer. But I don't know. Is this really the same writer? I feel like I'm a little underwhelmed, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. So far, it's an okay. I would still say it's, if you like stuff, you can go watch it, but it feels so underwhelming at times. So I don't know. I'll just watch it because I've already watched it so far. So, but yeah, okay so far. All right, I think that's all of them. So let's get to the main topic, and we only have about
the main topic. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, because Chewie has fucking somehow not been able to finish Assassination Classroom.
Not a very good series, by the way.
Assassination Classroom's amazing. What are you talking about?
It's all right. I'm not...
Okay, that's going to be a fun one to talk about. But instead, we're going to do we're going to review a show that we've both seen. That show, as you can tell by the photo, is Overlord. Yeah, we kind of felt this was a good show to start with simply because season 4 was announced and a movie.
All right, do we want to quickly do a brief synopsis? Well, not synopsis, but like introduction.
Yeah, I think we can. Overlord, of course, is another one of them isekai genres.
Yes.
A man, he's sitting there. We've all played games, right? Well, actually, I don't think I've ever played an MMORPG.
Really?
But anyway, the guy, one of the best people on the game, right? Giant guild, giant palace, and whatnot. But sadly, the RPG is shutting down.
Yes.
So he's logging on one last time. And a couple of
something. Yeah.
Say that again.
I think it's Yggdrasil or something. The game is called.
I actually do not remember.
Okay.
But what I was gonna say is that he's logging on one last time, to just experience it again, say goodbye to some friends who joined on and whatnot. And he's just like, it is called Yggdrasil, by the way.
There was only one guy there.
Well, I thought there was more that came in, or was it just...
No, it's just him.
Well, there was another guy there. It was a slime.
Yeah, that was just him.
But anyway, after he logs off, he sits down on his throne. It's just like, you know what? I'm going to fuck about with a little bit. Then I'm going to log off, right?
That's it. I got
That's
work
it.
tomorrow. Thing.
Except he then wakes up. He's his character in the game.
It's not even like a wake up, really. He just kind of like blinked.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, all right, I'm going to log off, and then he opens up his eyes again. It's like, wait, why do I see my bones?
It's like, why am I still in game? And then the NPCs start talking to him, and they're not supposed to talk.
Yeah, and then the NPCs start talking to him, and then you realize, oh, the NPCs have, like, emotions and families.
Emotions and ambitions. They're sentient beings. And he grabs onto the boob of Albedo.
Yeah. But so, because his life in the regular world sucks, he's like, screw it. Let's live here and try to take over the new world. Right?
Or make the best of it.
Yeah. So that is kind of how Overlord starts, and we're going to talk season by season. Because the one thing that I've mentioned before about Overlord is I think a lot of people really got baited in by season 1.
Lol.
Well, I mean, you look at season 1 compared to 2 and 3, and season 1 is almost entirely nonsensical comedy.
Yeah.
It's just our main character AINZ going around experiencing the world, right? He goes, saves a village. He then saves a town. He then saves one of his friends.
Yeah.
Like, you could say that Overlord season 1 had no overarching plot.
No, because what they started off with was just him exploring, right? Trying to figure it out.
Yeah, just him exploring, him trying to figure out the world, which is fine, right? And they focus on comedy. And don't get me wrong, I think Overlord season 1 is great. It's a fun show, awesome opening theme.
Good introductory.
And when it tells emotion, it can tell emotion. The problem is, because it's so focused so heavily handedly on comedy, when season 2 came around and started telling a bit of a dark story, it kind of caught people off guard, in my opinion.
I don't know what the fuck they're caught off guard for. Go read your some
Well,
shit.
I mean, people obviously weren't paying attention, but we'll get to that in a bit.
I mean, there was already comedy still in the season 2, too. It's just,
Yeah, but it actually told a story about how AINZ was trying to take over the world now because his idiot servants thought he wanted to.
Lol.
Like, that's the funniest part about the story. AINZ's whole world domination began because his...
vassals misunderstood him.
Yeah, pretty much Demiurge, Albedo, they all misunderstood what he wanted. And it's just like, oh, I kind of have to roll with this now, don't I?
Yeah.
But no, the season 2 was clearly better than season 1. It had a story, so that helps.
Yeah.
But the character development was even better. We got to learn more about Albedo, Shaltir, Demiurge, Sebastian. Oh, he was great.
You are no undead Lich King, the only one that I know that's Shoulder's title.
I love that part when he's fighting. Oh, when he's fighting those mafia people. Yeah. The guy who calls him a Lich King, he kills instantly.
I only know one undead Lich King, and that is not you. But dead.
But when it comes to Overlord Season 2, it really did start introducing the darker storytelling.
Yeah.
Demiurge destroying the town because he wanted to give AINZ a villain. Of course, there's the underworld that kidnaps Sebas's side piece. But I think one of the most important things about Overlord Season 2 was the introduction of the princess. Because the princess kind of starts the whole arc, right? For the kingdom of Rietze.
Yeah. I don't know Evertel, but oh yeah.
Yeah. I think Evertel is the continent.
Erantel is the continent? I thought it was
I think
city.
that's the continent. Well, maybe that's the city, but the kingdom is Rietze.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
But, like, the introduction of the princess is important because she kind of symbolizes where this show is going, because it's revealed that she's just a total psychopath.
Psychopath, sociopath, every path. She a path.
Though it's kind of funny to watch her and Climb's relationship, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, when you find out how she really feels about him, it's just like, ugh, what the fuck?
It's disturbing.
It's like, she gets off on Schadenfreude, and I'm like, dude.
Well, the thing that's interesting is, like, you have the Climb stuff, right? But then anybody who would even touch Climb the wrong way, she'd kill. Like, that's just... She's such a fucking just psychopathic character. And of course, season 2...
She's not even a monster. She's part of the monsters.
And of course, season 2 introduced more of the other characters in the universe. We saw the Lizardmen get introduced, who were their own fun and games.
We met another Guardian. Was it Pain or something?
Yeah, then we got that weird dragon.
The floating baby.
But the one thing I liked about season 2 the most is kind of like what I just said, how it introduced more of the world, since season 1 was kind of limited to almost entirely the AINZ and his vassals. Right?
Yeah, and I think they were able to then kind of get more in depth with all the other vassals themselves, and then
we learned a lot about Albedo and what made her click, Cocktailist, Nabrel.
The world outside of just... I mean, they did get more into the Rantalasia, whatever kingdom, but they also went to the empire outside, like the world outside, basically, as well.
But what I liked about season 2 is that while it had a focus on some of the supporting characters, like, say, Sebas and Solution, it was more about introducing the world more than anything.
Yeah.
So, like, the lizard people that we saw
the relationship between the Rantalasia kingdom and that other empire.
Yeah, the Barhuth Empire. And I love how he just gets his whole mind destroyed when, at the end of it, we saw the introduction of, like, the heroes, right? So, like, Evil Eye and whatnot.
There was more as well. There were some glimpses at other characters as well, which is really big foreshadowing at the very end of season 2, I think. It was,
I'm trying to remember, man. It's been so long since I watched
There was
season 2.
Scenes. There's like the one where that crazy lady with the Rubik's Cube thing, and it was like, my dream is to have the strongest man's baby or something.
Yeah, that was the...
Make love to the strongest man, have a child.
That was the Neapolitan-haired lady, right?
Yeah, and and then she was talking to somebody. Yeah, and then there was the dragon who was talking to some old lady at the end. Oh no, the one before the Neapolitan lady was talking to the guy who was dealing with Shaltier originally.
The wuss.
Yeah, and then there was the dragon to talk to some older lady who was apparently also there, but was like sensing a greater power somewhere around there, so he's like getting a little bit more active or something. It was interesting, but they never showed up in season 3 was the thing.
Yeah,
wasn't it with just the Lizardmen? Wasn't it in season 3?
The Lizardmen showed up in season 3 just because, they were part of AINZ's work, right?
Oh, right. No, see, it was season 2 that the Lizardmen was in.
It was mostly season 2 with the Lizardmen because that was the beginning, and then the second part of season 2 was all Sebas and the battle in the city, right?
You're right. And then season
3 was the return to the village.
Oh, yeah.
And then the part that turned a lot of people off, Overlord.
Oh, right, the invasion of the miners or something.
Yeah, and I kind of want to get to that because I
This is
already
the last
ranted
arc.
enough about this when it was aired.
It's the last arc. It's good.
Are people stupid? Like, no, like, just, we've already ranted about AINZ a bit, but this pissed me off when people were freaking out. Oh, AINZ, why did he have to kill them all? Ran. It's just like, did people not realize what AINZ was?
He a monster.
Mm-hmm.
And you could also tell that his thinking was starting to get kind of, well, not warped, I should say, but influenced by his monster side.
Yeah, like, we saw that at the end of the season when AINZ killed everybody with those goat-like things.
Yeah. Oh, well,
But it's
that was
just-
season 2, right?
No, that was the end of season 3.
Oh, the Shalbados, really? I thought that was
Yeah.
season 2. Oh, okay, I'm mixing up here.
Yep, that was end of season 3. It was episode 12 called Massacre. And AINZ pretty much used that as a way to show off his strength, and then he fought Gazef.
Ah, right, yeah. Really, the Raid of the Adventures was in that same season, though.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Raid of the Adventurers was in that same season. It was episodes 7 and 8, pretty much.
Oh, we also have to remember these are adventurers raiding not a regular old dungeon. This is their home. Like,
Yeah, but the thing you gotta remember is AINZ set it all up.
right. But still,
And a lot of people were just like, why did AINZ do this and whatnot? Like, literally, it's because AINZ set the whole thing up
It
as
was
a
a
way
trap,
to, like,
yeah.
test security.
mm.
People got pissed.
And then it was also supposed to tie into the Balmuth Empire because it was technically the Balmuth Empire that set that up.
I can't remember.
No, I remember. Yeah, because the one way the Balmuth Empire was able to enter peace talks was that they beheaded the guy. They made somebody a proxy, a nobleman, and they just, like,
No, if I remember at the
they
end...
presented his head to him in
Well,
person.
what I remember at the end of season 2 was the old dude who was always there with the Emperor.
Mm.
He'd pretty much already turned to AINZ just because he loved AINZ magic, right?
Yeah, because AINZ already came to him originally, way ahead, and showed him that he knew magic beyond everyone else's
Yeah,
comprehension.
so he's already on his side.
But no, that's not it though. It was I'm pretty sure the Emperor went to see him face to face one time, the first time, and he brought him the head of the nobleman, which he used as a proxy that set up the whole raid to the Tomb of Nazarick. I'm absolutely positive that he came in with the head, Marcel.
No, you are right. He did come in there with the head. Unfortunately, the Emperor later silenced him after using him to hire several workers to invade Nazarick.
Yeah, so he used him as a proxy.
Yeah,
So
the
that was
Emperor tried to get him to invade Nazarick.
Yeah. So the Balmuth Empire was the one that sent the workers, but in order for a backup, just in case they did it through a nobleman.
Mm-hmm.
And then they cut his head off and gave it to AINZ OOAL GOWN. AINZ. Just a piece.
But you gotta remember, the Emperor and AINZ, I believe, had... Oh, when did they meet? I thought they meant... No, I can't remember. I thought AINZ and them met at season 2, but it looks like they met at season 3.
Yeah. They didn't meet in season 2 at all.
Yeah. So yeah, then the whole like Mare and Aura showing up to the Empire saying, "Yeah, we can pretty much kill you if you do anything."
That one was in
That was literally the next episode.
next episode, yeah.
And then of course, the Rienson Kingdom started declaring war.
And then the Balmuth Empire allied with the Sorcery
Kingdom.
Kingdom, and then that's when he used the the magic to kill a bunch of people instantly and then use their bodies for Albedo or whatever.
Yeah, and then Gazef knew that they were never going to win.
So they did the one-on-one fight, and then
that's the main thing about this season with Gazef is, and that's the one thing that I really liked about.
And they left him with that relic that he enchanted completely, so it could hurt him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was interesting.
I really liked season 3. I thought season 3 was fantastic.
Gazef knew he was going to die, but really the kingdom had no chance. But the only way to stop the bloodshed temporarily was for him to do what he did. And
it's like it's one of those things where if the king or the big guy dies, maybe it'll show them we have no chance, right?
Maybe, and at the same time also, stop the bloodshed. Yeah, really, just going on.
It's like you take the head off the king, they're going to notice.
The head of the strongest warrior, yeah. And that pushed to the Rentija kingdom to be invaded, right?
Yeah, and eventually...
And then AINZ used Momon to be the regent.
Yeah, if I remember, AINZ used Momonga to, be as a proxy to stop them.
Yeah, to serve them.
He had Pandora's actor play as AINZ.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, and Momonga stepped up. So in the end, AINZ wins no matter what.
Yeah.
Which, is quite genius.
Because that there were people that weren't going to be happy with that.
Yeah.
So then they used Momonga, the guy who...
So they used Momonga as sort of
showed
a
himself
figure.
to be a hero in the second season.
Mm-hmm. So,
step up.
Momonga... So AINZ still rules, but Momonga will protect anyone just so, AINZ doesn't, go crazy. To the eyes of the people, right?
Mm.
Momonga's their factor. Momonga's their guardian shield.
But Momonga's also AINZ, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Jesus, my boy.
It's kind of insane that the story quality of Overlord jumps so much season by season.
Ooh.
Also, you know what I never realized? The entirety of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is on...
Crunchyroll?
Almost the entirety of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is on Crunchyroll.
The first series?
Yeah.
Nice.
Never knew that. But no, so we've talked a lot about Overlord's plot and how we think it's improved season by season.
What are you looking forward to in season 5? Let's just end on that. Really.
Well, season 4.
4, sorry.
We know what it's building up towards. It's the formation of the Sorcerer Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Which eventually leads to the formation of, AINZ declaring he wants to create a place for all of the world.
Mm-hmm. A utopia for all.
Yeah. What I'm interested in is I want to see the reactions of everyone else. That's one of the things that makes me so in love with Overlord. It does a fantastic job as, even though, say, there's a main character cast, we always see stuff from everyone.
Every supporting character, yeah.
Yeah. So we know how characters like Demiurge feels. We know how characters like Albedo feels, Shoutier, Evil Eye.
The Maids of Pleiades or whatever, Pleiades.
Yeah. We know how they all feel.
I don't know what that is. I'm looking forward for the final Guardian to be revealed too. Ugh.
How many Guardians are there again? 12?
8 or 9.
8.
Because there's one. Okay, so in the light novel, technically Albedo did not exist. It was Demiurge that was everything. So they added Albedo. I believe it's Shoutier. Then I forget his name. I think it was something with a G.
I don't know. Albedo exists in the light novel. It says she's in here.
No, he's not. No, she's not. It was Demiurge.
Yeah, no. It literally says Albedo exists in the light novel.
There's 2 versions of the light novel, Marcel. The author redid it. The original one, there was no Albedo.
Well, nobody reads the original one anymore, but moving on.
So there was Shaltir, who does 1 to 3, I believe. There was a golem. I forget his name. That's the final guardian that hasn't been revealed yet. There's I think it's Pain. That's a floating baby. Like unborn fetus baby. Is it Pain?
I got the floating baby known as Victim.
Victim.
You're talking about Gargantua.
Gargantua the golem, yeah. He wasn't shown.
And apparently we have seen him in the anime.
Oh. Was that the second season then?
Second season, episode 4.
Oh, well, he didn't have a speaking part.
Well, no, that was when the Lizardmen. Remember the Lizardmen?
Yeah, he threw the rock.
Yeah, he was deployed in that.
Yeah, he threw the rock, yeah. But he never talked. I don't know if he's
he's
smart enough to talk, but I feel like
he's a giant golem.
Yeah, but I feel like he should still be able to talk. Everyone else is able to talk. Freaking Victim's able to talk. He's a fucking floating bass baby.
Yeah, well, Victim could at least use telekinesis. The golem's probably not smart enough.
Maybe. But yeah, there's that. The next one I think is Cocytus.
We know Cocytus.
No, yeah, I'm just trying to remember all the guardians in order here.
It goes Albedo, Shaltir, Demiurge, Cocytus, Aura, and Mare, Victim, and then Gargantua.
And then Pandora's actor.
Yeah, there is Pandora, but like Pandora is
the
such
final
a
guardian, pretty much.
weird character.
Now I feel like I think that might have been it. Yeah.
The wiki has Pandora classified as an area guardian.
Yeah, because there's only so many floor guardians, right?
Yeah. The people who are classified as.
I think Albedo technically was an area guardian too, but she became the whatchamacallit of the guardians.
The people who are classified as floor guardians are the ones I mentioned: Albedo, Shaltir, Demiurge, Cocytus, Aura, Mare, Victim, and Gargantua. The people classified as area guardians are Pandora's actor, the giant cockroach, some guy named Gurren, Grant, and then
Sebas, no? And the maids
Arul Omega. No, remember, Sebas is a Pelidus.
Yeah, the Pelidus, weren't they area guardians too?
No, they're just their own thing.
Oh, never mind then.
Also, doesn't Albedo have a sister?
That I don't know about.
If I remembered, like, Albedo had a sister.
Well,
yeah, she's got 2 sisters.
They haven't been introduced. I wonder if they're going to be introduced this next one.
One is called Negredo, who seems to be really angry. Apparently, she was released at the request of Yuri to help manage a new orphanage. And then the other is called Rubedo, who is actually considered to be the strongest person in all of Nazarick.
Oh, yeah. There is that.
I mean, the Dark Warrior arc is when she first appears, or is mentioned.
Really?
Yeah, the Dark Warrior arc is when she was mentioned. I think Albedo, Demiurge indirectly told Albedo about the situation with her younger sister. That she can't be deployed without AINZ permission, even in a state of emergency. Apparently, in the Bloody Valkyria arc, there was a conversation between Albedo and her older sister about her younger sister. And then the Invaders of the Large Tomb arc, which is pretty much the thing that made everybody hate Overlord.
The 4th floor is an underground lake. Really, Gargantua guards an underground lake. That is the weirdest thing ever. Oh, it's not. Oh, okay. Sorry. The 5th floor is guarded by Cocytus. The 6th floor is guarded by the twins, and the 7th floor is Demiurge. 8th floor is Victim. There we go. That's where Ariel Omega is.
Mm-hmm. If there's one thing I want more introduced, I want more emotion. Because the one thing that Overlord's done so well as of late is the emotion of the NPCs.
Okay.
Because, as with, like, say, Albedo, to her, all the NPCs all the Guardians, all the players abandoned them.
Right.
And like Albedo herself has stated, if she finds any one of the other ones, she will kill them on sight.
Sad.
And I'm very interested to see what kind of continues from that.
There's a room called the Harem Room.
Of course there is.
But
like before we stop, I kind of want to talk about, like, you know, the other things about Overlord, the visuals, music. Is there anything with Overlord that stands out to you?
There are 67 golems. What the hell? Well, definitely when the first came out, they were one of the few animes I could say that, like, really pulled off the heavy rock opening really well. And how disturbing some of the lyrics are, like, actually fit as well to some of the openings and endings. Ugh.
Oh, yeah, no. I remember
Scary.
those openings are insane, and the endings are just as good, too.
They were, like, there's the one that was basically sang from, like, Albedo's perspective or something. It was so creepy. But it was
Was
like,
that the ending of season 1?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I remember that.
I
I also have to say that character design wise, this show has just really, really good designs, and I love how varied the characters are.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at, like, say, this Psycho, wrong one, compared to, say, like, I don't know, Albedo.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
there's variation in everything, not just like what type of thing they are.
It's interesting that, like, some of the designs are so, like appealing to the eye, and then there's some that are just like, what the fuck is that? But it's still interesting to look at. It's like, what the fuck?
Like, I mean, like let's take a look at, say, some of the area guardians, right? Like, look at the cockroach. He's like this hideous monstrosity.
And then you got Cocutus.
But then you got Pandora's actor.
And then you also have Cocutus.
Yeah, Cocutus, who looks like this badass of a person.
But he's a freaking insect. We keep forgetting.
He's an insect. He's a giant bug. But he looks so badass.
So we, like, have two different types of insects. One's just like, oh my god, get away from me. While the other's like, I want to be like this man.
This is a man's man.
But then you got someone who, like Pandora's actor, who literally looks like out of a fucking meme show. Evil Eye has this unique look to her. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. I love the design of the characters.
Okay.
And I like how they're finding a way to be varied.
Oh, the next couple arcs are... Oh. Hey, the next couple arcs are the,
I mean, we already went through this, didn't we?
Wasn't it the Craftsman of Dwarf arc?
Yeah, the Dwarf arc is coming up next.
And the Nazarick Mythology arc and the Paladin of the Holy Kingdom arc.
Well, the Paladin arc is already confirmed to be the movie.
Oh, never mind then. Is it the Witch of the Falling Kingdom then?
No, it's going to be Craftsman, Dwarf arc, and the Paladin. No, it's not that one. Fucking, it's the Ruler Conspiracy arc, because remember, they never covered that.
Yeah.
And then the Craftsman of the Dwarf arc.
And the Nazarick Mythology arc?
No, they probably won't cover that.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. It's just those two.
Or is Nazarick Mythology? I'm looking at the arcs right now, and after Magic Caster of Destruction, which was what season 3 ended on, it goes to Ruler of the Conspiracy.
And then the Craftsman of Dwarf, and then the Nazarick Mythology.
Yeah, Nazarick mythology doesn't exist. It's Paladin of the Holy Kingdom arc that comes next.
Really? It says right here Nazarick mythology.
Yeah, well, it also says right here that Nazarick mythology doesn't exist.
It's a voice drama in the Overlord series.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, so then they're just doing this Paladin of the Holy. Okay.
Yeah, Paladin of the Holy arc's already
Which
compared to
the Fallen Kingdom arc?
Yeah, apparently the nation of Rieta is going to go into full war with the Sorcerer Kingdom. Yeah, that's going to end so well.
R.I.P.
But yeah, is there anything like... would you say Overlord's probably one of the better isekais out there?
Of course. It also, I think, was the spearhead to what was a different look at isekai as well. Like, what if the guy was transformed or brought over as a villain type of look?
Yeah, it definitely did bring in a new view of isekai. Since remember, Overlord Season 1 happened in what, 2014?
The first one?
2015. The first season was 2015.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, Overlord's been going on for almost 6 years.
The next one's 2022, right?
Well, it's either end of 2021 or 2022, but, like, it's going to be going 6 or 7 years. It's hard to believe, eh?
It's not bad. I mean, there's stuff that lasts longer, but, like, hey, this is not a shonen.
Like SAO.
This isn't a shonen show, right? So the fact that it can keep going like this is pretty crazy. Or not, not incredibly crazy, but it's impressive in itself. Because again, not a stereotypical shonen show where it's shown every week. It's like it's season by season type of thing. It's nice. Oh, it's very different and it's very nice. I
mean, you also got to remember shonen has changed quite a bit.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the stereotypical shonen every week type of thing. An episode every week.
Yeah. I mean, Black Clover tried that, but it's the main reason why Black Clover had to take a break.
I'm going to go and get your Black Clover.
I mean, Black Clover was good. It got really good at the end.
All right, but what would you say, Marcel? What would you end off with here in Overlord? Your parting statements. And besides, just to end it off.
Overlord is well worth your time if you pay attention.
Yeah. Well,
because again, I feel like one of the reasons a lot of people got turned off season 3 was because they weren't paying attention.
I say if you're familiar with the isekai series or isekai genre, this is a good, different variation.
Like, yeah, that's actually a better way to put it. It definitely has a different feeling.
Very different feeling. It looks
like, even with like AINZ stating how he wants to create a world, where humanity is, right?
Yeah.
It still doesn't lose that feeling.
No, it's still very dark, but yet, comedic at times and entertaining still.
Yeah, no, that's a big thing. It always found a way to keep its entertainment.
But it also, it continued to show like, that even though these main characters are monsters, there's also monsters underneath human faces too, and that was cool. It was like they aren't the only monsters out there, basically trying to say, and the way they sort of, what should I say?
There's always more that meets the eye with the characters.
Yeah, and even if you're not familiar with isekai genre, I still think if you're looking for something a little bit more darker fantasy, you'll enjoy these. Like if you enjoyed Dark Souls type of thing, you definitely enjoy this type of genre. Yeah.
You know, I think Overlord's well worth it.
Rate it the 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Yeah.
I'd go 8.5.
Oh, wow.
I really do think Overlord is really good.
Okay, wow.
Also, in large part because of just amazing photos like this one.
Okay.
Like, you can't sit here and tell me this is a perfect representation
No penis photos, please.
of the princess.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Like, that's just a brilliant representation of the princess.
What did you send me?
Never mind.
What did you send me here?
I sent you.
What did you send me? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I see.
Like, Overlord's also pretty funny.
Yeah, it's the fact that you don't have to be fully comedic to have good comedy type of thing. And it's good. Good shit. Looking forward to
The show's just,
season
I
4.
think the best way to say it, Overlord is an incredibly satisfying watch.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to season 4.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the movie as well.
Oh.
Anyway, that was another good episode.
Next time we think we'll try to, what are we going to be rating? I don't know, reviewing? I don't remember what we're going to be reviewing next.
Well, it's supposed to be Assassination Classroom, but you may take 10 years to do it.
Fuck you, Assassination Classroom.
It's just an anime, Chewie. It shouldn't be that hard to finish.
It's an anime.
But I'm hoping by the end of the year we can review a certain giant anime, Sword Art Online.
Fuck.
Hey, you're the one who says if we do that, I have to review Inazuma 11.
That was the one for Assassination Classroom. I didn't agree to Sword Art Online.
Hey, I said this whole thing was started on Sword Art Online.
I'm gonna have to find another one for you to look at then.
Hey, just try to make sure it isn't 10 million years like Inazuma 11.
And we want to watch Sword Art Online because it's not like 4 seasons either. Nope. Okay.
Yeah, but Sword Art Online isn't over 100 episodes.
Yeah. 4 seasons. 4 or 5 seasons. Yeah. One day.
I wonder actually how many episodes total it is. Oh shit, it actually is almost 100 episodes. Yeah, don't worry. I'll watch Inazuma 11, but I mean, you have to finish Assassination Classroom.
I guess we gotta go back and look at what other stuff we've watched in the meantime while we go watch on all these things. Have we watched Kuroko no Basket? All of it.
I've watched it all. I've reviewed it.
I watched it too.
But do you remember it?
I believe I remember the major points.
Because that's the big thing.
We had to go through every single match.
Oh god, that's so much.
Well, this is what we
Well,
get.
you guys have a lot to look forward to, especially when Chewie uploads these 3 months from now.
And that's the end of episode whatever 20-something whatever thing.
We know if we can see them uploaded, but you know.
I'm thinking it's 20-something, but I don't know. Anyways.
I want to say 22?
Sure. I thought that we passed 21 already, though.
I cannot remember. I tend to use YouTube.
Anyways, this video is also, stuff. Things.
You know, we have decent intros, but terrible endings.
Thanks for watching, ARPG. I don't know why Marcel keeps on saying but he's a kind of guy. Goodbye.